Hello, my name is Dr. Leona Russell. I hold a PhD in health science and work alongside the Home Office to eradicate female genital mutilation in the UK, which is also known as FGM. The snippet we just heard is from the 2013 rally in July to raise awareness of FGM held in Trafalgar Square, London. With FGM becoming more prevalent within the UK, I will be discussing what it is, the consequences of it, medical practitioners' awareness, and how they are expected to help deal with the growing nature of this human rights violation. To help me do this, I am joined in the studio by Samantha Powers, UN Ambassador for the United States, UNICEF representative Brona McKinley, and UK Crime Prevention Minister Lynn Featherstone. Welcome.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so let's get started. Charity Plan UK 2015 have outlined the ignorance regarding FGM, with 35% of the population unsure what it means. Brona, can you clear up this matter?
Yes, FGM is essentially female circumcision. According to the World Health Organization 2014, it's described as all procedures involving partial or total removal of the external female genitalia or other injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. It has no health benefits and is harmful to females in many ways. It is most common in prepubescent girls under 15, according to the World Health Organization 2014.
Before we get into the consequences of FGM, can you expand upon procedures from a medical perspective, Brona?
FGM is classified into four major types. Type 1, clitoridectomy. Type 2, excision. Type 3, infibulations. And Type 4, a combination of other harmful procedures. Type 1 removes the hood of the clitoris, with Type 2 removing the hood of the clitoris plus part of the inner lips. Type 3 requires removing both parts of the clitoris, cutting the inner and outer lips, putting them together and sewing it up with just a little hole left for urination. Type 4 you find is a combination of all other harmful procedures, such as pricking, pulling and stretching.
FGM is a global health issue and can have devastating physical, psychological and social consequences for women and girls. Kaplan et al. 2011 includes examples ranging from hemorrhage, infertility, acute anemia, infections such as septicemia, flashbacks, PTSD, low self-esteem, and in worst case scenarios, death.
125 million girls and women alive today have been cut, according to the World Health Organization 2014. UNICEF 2014 estimates that over 20,000 girls in the UK are at high risk of FGM and 66,000 are currently living with the consequences. The hidden nature of the crime makes it very hard to retrieve an accurate figure.
Lynn, let's talk about the 32-year-old NHS doctor who is currently on trial for a supposed FGM violation in 2012.
Well, obviously, as Crime Prevention Minister, I am unable to comment on any specifics about the ongoing case. However, in conjunction with the Female Genital Mutilation Act 2003, Dr. Dharma Hassana has been accused of a direct violation of the policy in place. As a result, could face up to 14 years in jail and a hefty fine if found guilty. Sorry to interrupt you there, Lynn, but although there is an ongoing case, there have been no criminal convictions against FGM in the UK. I find this very hard to believe with the 2003 Act in place for Northern Ireland, England and Wales, especially in Scotland, who have their own policy and act, their prohibition of FGM 2005. Research by UNICEF 2014 has shown that this is simply because it is very hard to gain evidence to convict the perpetrators in a courtroom. Although there have been no prosecutions, the British Medical Association 2011 reported that 2 cases in 1993 and 2000 have gone up against the General Medical Council, which resulted in the guilty doctors being struck off the list.
I'm in no way condoning this, but it has also been reported in UNICEF 2014 that many doctors and even police officers are put off the idea of reporting FGM due to the fear of being branded racist or discriminatory toward the patient.
What they must remember is, it is mandatory to record the presence of FGM when going through the delivery of NHS care, as explained in the NHS Briefing 2014. Regardless of any discussion of discrimination or action, Medical practitioners are under oath and abided by law to report this, in association with the FGM Act 2003 and the prohibition of FGM 2005. Therefore, they will have the full backing of their respective employers and Department of Justice. In fact, most major medical and health boards, such as the Royal College of Nursing, Royal College of Midwifery, and the British Medical Association, have published their own articles and guidelines relating to the importance of eradicating FGM.
Yvette Cooper, Shadow Home Secretary, has described FGM as a horrific abuse of children. So what are the risk factors medical practitioners should be aware of to eradicate this horrific child abuse in the UK?
The British Medical Association 2011 outlined 3 major risk factors, which included if genital mutilation is practiced in the girl's country of origin or within their culture, if her family are not integrated into UK society, are refugees or asylum seekers, or the girl's mother or other females within the family have previously been subjected to FGM. Follow-up into these 3 risk factors by medical practitioners will help stop female genital mutilation in future generations.
We mentioned countries of origin. What are the countries that medical practitioners should be particularly aware of, Samantha? The Demographic Health Survey by Yoda et al. 2004 outlines that 94% of Egyptian women arrange for their daughters to undergo FGM. Figures reach 76% in Yemen, 47% in Ivory Coast, and 46% in Kenya.
African countries as a whole, particularly Central Africa, should also be scrutinised. 29 countries partake in FGM, according to our UNICEF report in 2014, Somalia in particular, which had the highest prevalence of 93%. Other examples including Chad, Niger and Sierra Leone. The British Medical Association 2011 agreed with these key countries, while also emphasising the FGM endemic in the Middle East, with Iran and Yemen the worst offenders.
On that point, another risk factor doctors should be aware of are prepubescent girls who are receiving particular vaccines for the outlined risk countries and are categorized as a risk factor themselves, particularly during the summer months, as this suggests they may be leaving the UK to carry out the procedure which, as we know, is illegal.
The distribution of refugees across the UK makes it more likely for medical practitioners to come into contact with FGM. One of the highest risk areas in the UK is Birmingham. Midlands Police and Crime Panel 2015 released data which revealed Birmingham Heartland Hospital receives 6 FGM cases per week. This can be explained by the ethnically diverse population, with 22% born outside the UK, according to the Birmingham Census 2011. Nationwide, 15 new cases of FGM are reported to hospitals every day.
How can medical practitioners within the UK be expected to deal with FGM then? Care and support given to FGM sufferers should be consistent with the safeguarding law and policy. FGM should be dealt with under the Section 47 of the Children's Act 1989, in which states that if a child is potentially at risk, it must be reported to social services and the police. They in turn will conduct their own inquiries.
UNICEF 2014 recommends other steps for medical practitioners in their day-to-day work. Professionalism is of the utmost importance. Health professionals should be sufficiently prepared to not exhibit any signs of shock, confusion, horror, or revulsion if an FGM case is presented to them. Another practice they can partake in is the circulation of relevant leaflets and posters within their workplace and community to promote the awareness of FGM. This is in accordance with the Community Organisation Model 2002, where public health workers help communities identify health and social problems, outlay provisions for care, and implement strategies to eradicate the problem.
In fact, FGM awareness to the public is not the only step that should be taken. Recommendations by the UNICEF 2014 also encourage the awareness and knowledge of FGM among colleagues. Well, listeners, our podcast here is a very convenient example and way for you to spread the word amongst your colleagues.
This is very true, Leona, or simply by word of mouth would be another example.
It is vitally important not to overlook the mental health aspect of care. Referral to a psychiatrist is not an uncommon practice, as FGM is deemed as child abuse, and which is well known to have many detrimental psychological effects. In 2013, it was reported in Kenya a young girl committed suicide after being subjected to FGM. Only one example the extreme effect FGM can have. Thank you for your excellent analysis, explanation, and advice given. Hopefully this can help our medical practitioners help eradicate FGM for the future generations.
On that point, with increasing numbers of refugees and asylum seekers, I think FGM will only increase in the UK in the near future. Therefore, the problem will only get worse before it gets any better.
Yes, this may be the case, but there's a great effort ongoing within the UK, clearly seen by the EU Progress Fund granted at £250,000 in 2013 to eradicate FGM in the UK. The NSPCC are also doing fabulous work, having set up a free helpline that is manned 24/7 by a fully qualified professional. You can reach this via the free phone number 0800 028 3550.
Also, the Health and Social Care Information Centre's FGM prevalence dataset submission deadline is the 10th of April 2015. Therefore, by knowing the facts and figures and challenges the UK face in this endemic, it is a great step to eradicating the taboo and practice altogether.
Brona, Lynn and Samantha, thank you again for joining me. That is all for this evening's episode. Tune in next week for podcast 13, Ebola. Where is it now?